I'm Zoe, and let me tell you about a Thanksgiving I'll never forget. My family lied to keep me from joining them at dinner, leaving me completely left out. They sat around laughing, clinking glasses, acting like I didn't exist. Why? Because I work at a nursing home? But here's the worst part. I was the one paying for my sister's college. The same sister who acted like she didn't know me. The same family who took my money but wouldn't let me sit at their table. So, I decided to do something about it. My phone buzzed as I left work that day. My mom's name popped up, and I smiled, thinking she'd ask about dessert like usual, but her voice made my stomach drop. Zoe, we need to talk about Thanksgiving. Something was off. She sounded nervous. What's going on, Mom? I asked, walking to my car. A long pause. We think it's best if you don't come this year. I froze. What? We always spend Thanksgiving together. She sighed like she'd practiced this. It's more formal this time. Emma's boyfriend's parents are coming, and, well, we want just close family. My hands clenched. I am close family. Of course you are, honey, she said in that fake sweet voice, but his family is important. This matters for Emma. It felt like a punch to the gut. So because I'm a caregiver, I'm not good enough? Zoe, don't make this about you, she snapped. I laughed, but it was bitter. Oh, I see, it's not about me. It's about Emma being embarrassed by her sister in scrubs. Silence, that told me everything. It's just one dinner, she said weakly. We'll do lunch next week. I hung up. My chest hurt as I stood in the cold parking lot. One dinner, after all the money I'd sent, all the times I helped. Now, I wasn't good enough. Later, my cousin Mia texted me. I heard your mom and Emma talking. She didn't want you there because she's ashamed of your job. My hand shook. My own sister, the one I'd paid for, was embarrassed by me. Looking back, the signs were there. She never invited me to campus, avoided talking about my work, never introduced me to her boyfriend. I'd ignored it, but now it was clear. Thanksgiving came, and for the first time, I spent it alone. I drove around, called friends, but nothing helped. That night, I checked social media. There they were, perfect photos, fancy clothes, a table full of food. Me? Erased. The next morning, I woke up angry. I drank my coffee, opened my laptop, and logged into Emma's college account. I laughed. Heartless? That's funny, coming from the woman who kicked me out of Thanksgiving over my job. Mom switched to her guilt trip voice. She just wanted to impress them. Zoe, she's young, she didn't think. She's 24, Mom, old enough to know better. Silence. Then the classic line, you promised to help her through college. My hands tightened around my mug. No, I promised to help my sister, not someone who treats me like I'm nothing. She didn't mean it like that. She meant exactly like that. Mom groaned. You're overreacting. Family makes sacrifices. That's how it works. I almost choked on my coffee. Funny how family only matters when I'm the one sacrificing, but when I ask for basic respect, suddenly, I'm asking for too much. She needs this, Zoe. So did I. Dead silence. No rehearsed speech about Emma's future. No fake tears, just quiet. I let it stretch before speaking again, my voice steady. I'm done, Mom. Years of paying her bills, covering her mistakes, making sure she never struggled, and the one time I needed her to see me, she pretended I didn't exist. Mom scoffed, you're so dramatic. We're done here, I said, ignoring the ache in my chest. Zoe, wait. I hung up, my pulse roared in my ears. I did it. I waited for guilt to hit. Instead, I felt something lighter, relief. Emma's panic. 24 hours later, Emma called 6 times before leaving a voicemail. Zoe, what the hell? My tuition payment failed. Fix this now. I sipped my coffee. Not my problem. She texted next, if you don't fix this, I can't enroll next semester. You can't do this to me. I typed, watch me, then deleted it. What was the point? She'd never understand. The boyfriend finds out. Emma stormed into Jake's apartment, frantic. Zoe cut me off. No warning, no reason. Jake frowned. Wait, Zoe was paying? I thought your parents were. Emma froze. She'd never told him the truth. Well, they helped, but Zoe covered most of it, she mumbled. Jake crossed his arms. How much is most? Emma avoided his eyes. All of it. Jake stared at her like she'd grown a second head. Your sister paid your entire tuition, and you didn't even invite her to Thanksgiving? Emma waved her hands. It's not a big deal. Jake cut himself off. voice icy. Let me get this straight. The sister who paid for your future wasn't good enough to meet my parents? Emma squirmed. It's about image, Jake. Zoe doesn't fit. Jake's face darkened. Wow, you're worse than I thought. The boyfriend's realization. Jake took a slow breath, shaking his head. So your world means hiding where you came from? The people who helped you aren't good enough now? Emma's throat tightened. It's not like that. But Jake was already grabbing his keys. Wait, she blurted. Where are you going? He looked at her like he was seeing her for the first time. I need space. You're seriously mad about this? No answer, just the door closing behind him. And just like that, Emma realized she might have lost more than just Zoe's money. The text. That night, Emma sent one final message. Hope you're happy, you ruined my life. Zoe, stared at my phone, waiting for guilt. Nothing, just quiet satisfaction. If Emma thought I'd ruined her life, she'd been doing that herself all along. Mom's interference. The next call wasn't from Emma, it was Diane Whitaker, my mom. Her name flashed like a warning sign. I answered on the second ring. Zoe, she snapped, Emma's falling apart. I gripped my coffee mug. Maybe she should have thought about that before pretending I didn't exist. Mom switched to her reasonable voice. She's your sister, you can't abandon her. I didn't abandon her, I stopped paying for her life. She's just a kid. She's 24, I said flatly. Silence, then the real ask, Zoe, please, you know how hard she's worked. There it was, not are you okay, not I'm sorry, just another demand to clean up Emma's mess. I stayed quiet. Mom sighed like I was the problem. You're blowing this out of proportion. I almost laughed. Really? She's been ashamed of me for years. She only cares now because the money's gone. Family sticks together. Funny how family only matters when I'm the one giving. Mom's voice turned icy. So what? You want her to drop out? Not my problem. Zoe, be serious. Your father and I can't afford this. Bingo, the truth. She didn't want Emma to fix it. She wanted me to cave, like always. Then I guess Emma's about to learn how the real world works, I said, hanging up. The family mob. Over the next few hours, the texts rolled in. Dad, this isn't you. Zoe, don't turn your back on family. Aunt Linda, I never thought you'd be so cruel. Cousin Mark, it's just money, don't be petty. Not one of them had spoken up when I was excluded from Thanksgiving. Not one asked how I felt. But now, suddenly, it was an emergency. I didn't reply, just let the notifications pile up. The social media war. That night, I checked Emma's profiles. She'd posted vague, victim mode updates. Some people value money over family. So sad. True siblings lift each other up. Guess not everyone agrees. Comments flooded in. You deserve better, Queen. Stay strong. Toxic people don't deserve you. I snorted. Classic Emma, playing the martyr while forgetting who'd paid her way all along. The nursing home ambush. Days later, at work, Mrs. Lowell, a resident I'd cared for years, gave me a cold look. I never took you for the type to abandon family, she said. I froze. Excuse me? Blood sticks together, she sniffed. I forced a smile. Guess it depends on whose story you heard. In the parking lot, I clenched my steering wheel. Emma had been busy, twisting the narrative, turning me into the villain. But this time, I wasn't backing down. The final showdown. Zoe, scrolled through Emma's posts, stomach churning, distant relatives, old friends, even people who'd ghosted me after Thanksgiving, were now lining up to praise her like some kind of saint. My phone buzzed. Aunt Lisa, Uncle Rob, Mom. I silenced them all. Funny how I was family when I was paying, but now I was the villain. Confrontation. I drove to Emma's apartment unannounced and hammered on the door. She opened it, phone in hand, eyes widening before she forced a cool smile. Zoe, what a surprise. I pushed past her. She scoffed. Make yourself at home, I guess. I turned, jaw clenched. What the hell are you doing online? Sharing my truth, she said, smirking. I held up my phone, showing her latest post. Some people value money over family. Your truth is bullshit, I snapped. I funded your life while you pretended I didn't exist. She crossed her arms. And now everyone sees you for what you really are. I stepped closer. Keep playing victim, Emma, but when this blows up, I won't be there to save you. What she didn't realize? Her world was already crumbling. The boyfriend finds out. Jake had suspicions. One night, he logged into Emma's school portal and discovered the truth. No payments from her parents, just a long list of transactions from Zoe Whitaker. When Emma showed up for their date, Jake stood stiff by the door. "Why did I have to find out from the school that Zoe's been paying your tuition?" Emma froze. "Jake, it's not a big deal." "You lied," he said, voice icy. "You let me think your parents paid, all while trashing the person actually supporting you." She reached for him. "I didn't want you to think less of me." He stepped back. "I think less of you now." The public meltdown. 2 days later, Emma stormed into my workplace, screaming, "You ruined my life." I set down my clipboard. "No, I stopped funding it. You ruined it." She lunged forward, but Carl, my senior employee, blocked her. "Ma'am, you need to leave. She's my sister," Emma shrieked. Carl didn't flinch. "And this is her business. You're trespassing." A client filmed the whole thing. By morning, the video was everywhere. Entitled "Sister Screams at Caregiver Sibling, Older Employee Shuts Her Down." Iconic. The internet ripped Emma apart. Her vague posts backfired. Friends ditched her. Internships vanished. Within weeks, she dropped out and moved back home, the ultimate humiliation. Epilogue. Peace. That Christmas, I sat by my fireplace, surrounded by real family, coworkers, friends, and the daughter of a woman I'd once cared for. We laughed, told stories, and for the first time in years, I felt free. My phone buzzed. A text from Mom: "We miss you, can we talk?" I set it down. Not every apology deserves a reply. Because here's the truth. Family isn't who you're born to, it's who chooses you. And I finally chose myself.